Today's international coverage on CNN 10 concerns the largest island in the world, and despite its name, about 80% of it is covered with ice. I'm Carl Azus. Thank you for taking 10 minutes for our show. Less than 2 weeks before he was scheduled to visit the northern European nation of Denmark, U.S. President Donald Trump announced yesterday that he had postponed the trip. The reason has to do with Greenland, the island we referred to a moment ago. Despite its huge size, the CIA says it's more than 3 times the size of Texas. Greenland is not an independent country. It officially became part of Denmark in 1953, though since then, Greenland has been granted a lot of authority to govern itself, making its government autonomous. Still, Denmark remains involved in Greenland's security, financial policy, and foreign affairs, and that's where the United States factors in. For more than 150 years, American politicians have expressed interest in buying Greenland from Denmark. President Trump is the latest American official to mention this, and he's brought it up several times in recent weeks. The island is believed to be rich in resources like gold, diamonds, uranium, oil, lead, and iron ore, but a lot of that is covered by the territory's ice sheet. It's not heavily populated. Less than 60,000 people are estimated to live in Greenland, but many of them struggle with high unemployment, according to the British Broadcasting Corporation, and the island relies on Denmark for most of its government revenues. On Sunday, President Trump told reporters that Greenland is hurting Denmark and confirmed that the U.S. was interested in buying the island. But Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said Greenland is not for sale and that she strongly hoped the suggestions that the U.S. might buy it weren't serious. She called them an absurd discussion. President Trump then wrote that based on those comments, he'd postpone their scheduled meeting for another time.
I looked forward to going, but I thought that the Prime Minister's statement that it was absurd, it was an absurd idea, was nasty. I thought it was an inappropriate statement. All she had to do is say, no, we wouldn't be interested.
The Danish leader called the postponement regrettable and surprising, but said repeatedly that the cancellation does not change the good relations between America and Denmark. Now, we're visiting the island of Greenland itself. How are some of the people there reacting to all this news? And what interests, besides resources, might the U.S. have in Greenland?
Folks in the very beautiful territory of Greenland don't seem that interested in President Trump's alleged idea to buy this place. The official government of the semi-autonomous region said, quote, Greenland is not for sale. They did say that they were willing to conduct cooperation between what they call equal countries. Now, local residents that we spoke to here in the small village of Kulusuk said the Americans tried to acquire Greenland in 1867 and in World War II, and they failed, and one resident said it will not happen. There are some reasons why America might want to have Greenland. It certainly does seem to have a lot of natural resources, and the Chinese have been trying to get in on that business. That's not really something that the U.S. really likes seeing, with China trying to get a lot of that business here. Also, the U.S., of course, has a big military base here in Greenland as well, the Thule military base. So there are some good reasons why the U.S. might want Greenland. However, if these natural resources really become exploitable here in Greenland, certainly the folks here would probably want autonomy, full autonomy and independence, rather than becoming part of the United States.
10-second trivia. In what sport would you hear the terms feint, trial horse, and enswell? Dressage, boxing, surfing, or dog agility? The giveaway here was the enswell, also known as an eye iron, which is used to reduce swelling on a boxer's face. In the city of Chicago, Illinois, the sport of boxing is being used to open doors for young people. A co-ed program called The Block has helped more than 300 students, and all of those who participated and applied to college have been accepted. It was started by Jamil Cannon, who was arrested for fighting when he was 12 years old. As he grew up, he found an outlet for his anger through boxing, and he's using that today to improve lives. Cannon is a CNN hero.
In a boxing ring, it may be the only place where I can be completely in a moment. Boxing forces you to confront all the things that hold you back in your life. Growing up, I was upset about a lot of things. Growing up in poverty or drug addiction in the household, it didn't take much to make me angry. The sport of boxing made me assess my relationship with anger. I started to recognize the things that triggered anger and reevaluate what I would do when I got angry. I was a competitive boxer in college. After I got injured, I became a teacher and then helped found a school on the west side of Chicago.
We're gonna start off nice and simple. Jamal's gonna throw his 1-2 at me. Boom, boom. I'm catching right in front of my face.
I realized that there was so much potential.
I'm throwing back, and you're coming right back to your face. These are the types of things you need to drill into your mind so that you don't have to think about it when the time comes. All right, let's work.
There are young people who have experienced things that would break so many people, but they keep pushing towards their own success and they just needed a little support.
Boom, slip it, yep.
So I started a program that uses the sport of boxing to hook kids in for academic support and mentoring relationships.
All right, y'all, listen up. If you have a pen or pencil, take it with you. I've got a goal planning sheet, pick it up. If you have homework, that's what I want you working on instead.
We've got some kids who've been kicked out of schools, who come in with a GPA that starts with a decimal point.
Hands up, pump it, boom, boom, just like that.
We have kids who are in trouble with the law. Those are the most important kids to reach, the kids who've been cast out, because they are walking around looking for acceptance, and there are people in the streets who are willing to give them that acceptance.
Is your homework for today? Check you out.
There's nothing cool about going to an after-school program for homework help, but there is something really cool about going to a boxing program. You don't have to tell anybody you did homework the whole time. It's a great place to save face.
Coming here barely underneath it, yep, just like that.
Most kids have never boxed before in their lives.
Shift your hips, 2-3, 2-3. Good, good.
They learn the very basics of the sport.
Step, replace. Front foot moves first. Ready? 1. Front foot first. 1. There you go.
There is mandatory study time. We assign a one-on-one tutoring. Every single one of our kids graduates high school in a neighborhood where often half the kids graduate.
I was going down the wrong path of like violence and getting in trouble with my friends. It could have brought me to death or in jail. If I didn't choose boxing, I wouldn't be here right now.
Good.
Jamal helped me see that I can actually be something in life. He taught me to believe in myself.
Oh, it doesn't say like orientation information or anything on here?
I just graduated from high school. I will be the first to go to college in my family.
I see a lot of myself in the kids. They learn that they are capable. They learn how to act courageously when it's difficult, and they learn how to keep working towards their goals, even when it's not comfortable, when they think they're too tired to keep going.
All right, let's bring it in tight. We'll be back same time, same things tomorrow. Come ready to continue that work.
I want to give our kids the understanding that they can fight through anything. Sometimes life is going to punch you in the face, but you have to get your hands up and keep fighting.
After 50 years, the library director in Derry, New Hampshire decided it was time to finally crack open a time capsule. Would it contain film footage of what the town used to look like? Might it have memorabilia from astronaut Alan Shepard, who used to live here before he traveled into space? But no one expected it would contain absolutely nothing. Nada. Zilch. Well, maybe no one except the person who took it. It's possible that's what happened. It's also possible the capsule never contained a thing. Give them a second, or they might need a minute to spend an hour a day thinking what might be in it. It's like breaking the bank only to draw a blank, an open and shut case making an about face when in place of keepsakes is nothing but space. How do you save face? Do you save the safe when its artifacts are hard to track, causing some heart attacks? Curious curators' interest turning on a dime when their city's storied history is simply lost to time. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.